William Hill sponsors IFL TV.
I'm the man to beat Daniel Dubois. You're going to sleep.
Wingy Boxing, IFL TV, in association with MTK Global. I'm here with Ekow Essuman. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct, man.
Is that correct pronunciation? I want to get that rolling off the tongue.
Yeah.
Good, yeah. We are here at the Dreams Come True gym. How are you feeling, man? All good?
Yeah, I'm all good. I'm training for my next fight, which is July 7th. I'm here in Nottingham at Harvey Haddon just to take over. And getting into the swing of the camp.
You're actually from Nottingham, yeah?
Yeah. Well, I live in Nottingham. I've lived here since I came to the UK, but I was actually born in Botswana.
Yeah, I could tell by the accent. Yeah. Okay, cool. How old was you when you come over here?
I was 11 when I came over.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right then, so I guess we were talking before about the Thurman Nurse fight.
Yeah.
Talk me through that fight, because what interests me is that he's a real slippy guy. Most people who who were watching this interview, when you think of Thurman Nurse, you probably think of like slipping, ducking, moving. How do you fight a guy like that?
Well, you know what? Like, even when I was on the amateurs in GB, fighting people sparring the likes of Elusinov and fighting very well-seasoned European champions, world champions and Olympic champions, you just take from it and you learn that you have to take people's strengths away from them. If someone's good at the upper body movement, you got to jab them to the body, stick them to the body, you got to pin them down, stop them from using their strengths. And that was one thing that me and my coach, Barrington Brown, worked on for the Thurman Nurse fight. We just thought, well, we've got to take away his main attributes away from him, and I've got to maximise mine, which is obviously my work rate, my technicality. So I just made it a close quarters affair and took him apart.
What made you want to get into boxing? You seem like a nice young man. What made you want to pick up the gloves and start punching people? You like that one?
It's a weird one, you know, like that Jekyll and Hyde.
Yeah. You know what? I find it with a lot of boxers, man. You talk to them, but then get them in the ring, it's like shit.
Yeah, a lot of people when they first meet me, they're like, "What? You box?" I'm like, "Oh yeah," because obviously I'm a happy, smiling guy. But get into the ring, a bit different. But I've always been into my team sports and that, and it got to the point where I was playing in team sports, but I wanted to get into a sport that I felt like you got out of it what you put into it. And so I ended up in a boxing gym thinking it was just an individual sport, but I soon learned, like obviously with my camp, Barrington Brown, and my boxing club at the time, Bilbao Boxing Club, it's a team sport. Mm-hmm. You need your team behind you. The only time obviously you're learning is in the ring where it's just you and your opponent, but up until that point, you have to depend on a lot of people.
Which opponents do you have your eyes on, at welterweight?
At welterweight, obviously I'm English champion. I want the British. I want that Chris.
I was thinking that,
yeah. I know he's got to defend it, but I'm in the position where I'll be putting my bids forward for the fight. I know there's other fighters like Conor Benn who came off a layoff, and he was saying he wanted the British as well. I actually bumped into him at the Ultimate Boxer when Derek was fighting, and we had a little chat about that.
You got that big grin on your face. What kind of chat? Nice chat?
No. It was a civil chat.
Civil chat, yeah.
Between boxers, we're men. We got to do what we got to do. It's a business, isn't it? So yeah, we just had a little chat. Obviously, we both said we want the British. I told him, well, I'm ranked above you, so by rights, you want it? You got come through me, bro. I'm here.
What did he say to that?
He said he'd have to look at what his team had to say.
Fair enough.
No, that's fair enough.
Of course, that's fair enough.
That's what it is. That's what I mean. It's a business, so you got to treat it like a.
What do you think of Conor Benn as a fighter?
I think he has talent, and he's learning as a fighter, and yeah, that's all I'll say for now. Yeah.
Cool. It must be strange though for that kind of exposure, because from like his first sort of fights, he was like 2 or 3 from the top of the bill. I can remember that to start out at that kind of level. I wonder what that does for. What do you think that does for a fighter?
That'll put a lot of pressure on you still.
Because you can't really develop really, or can you? Do you feel?
Exactly. You're still learning as a fighter, developing. You like other people, obviously developed as amateurs, had time to learn certain things, then adjusted to the pros. Whereas if you just go into it at that level, it's hard. Yeah.
Okay. What's next? Have you got anything locked in 100% next for you?
Just my next fight, just to tick over, and then we've put in our bids with the boxing board for British eliminators, and obviously chance to swipe at the British. So it's that. I'm a free agent as well, so Eddie, Frank, hit me up. You know I'm here. We can do business. And Nottingham has so many boxers. If it's numbers you want, it's numbers will do. Like,
there you go. Look at that. The smile, the swag, the style.
Yeah. If it's numbers you want, it's numbers will do. Boxing's here. We're big. There's Lee Wood, there's Derek Kasazi, Seb Slew, Chad Sugden. There's a wealth of talent here. We're ready to do our thing. And there's the guys at my gym, Debo as well, Paul Thompson, all of us, DCT camp. We're here. We're ready.
What do you do when you're not boxing? When boxing's not on the brain? What?
When boxing's not on the brain, it's always kind of on the brain.
It's always there, yeah.
It's kind of always there. Obviously, you got to switch off. And I have a laugh, just have a laugh, have a banter with even the guys from the gym and just my friends. Chill out, de-stress. Yeah. Wicked.
Have you got any social media? Anything you want to shout out like that?
Yeah. If you guys want to follow my journey, Cruise with the Engine, you can hit me up on my Instagram, which is Ekow Essuman, EKOW.ESSUMAN, and on Twitter it is EE_engine. On Facebook, Ekow the Engine Essuman.
Cruise with the Engine, man.
Yeah, man.
That's it. That's what it's all about. I have to ask you, Joshua Ruiz. You know it's coming. I have to ask everybody, man. Yeah. I just like to get opinions. How can I approach this one? Ask everybody in a different way. What do you think? What do you think this does for Andy Ruiz Jr. going forward? Let's say the Joshua fight the rematch doesn't instantly happen. Do you think he will build off of that as a champion? Do you think it was not saying it was, but do you think that was his one moment and he won't get that again with regards to that type of win? Or do you think he's just going to improve? Where do you think Andy Ruiz goes?
Obviously, that was a performance that would inspire him to believe in himself and do more. So it's not really easy to say because, even before the match, I think people took him lightly, but he's not someone that you can take lightly. Like, he doesn't have the talent there, his hand speed, and he is well schooled. So
he's always had that hand speed. People who don't know just see some big guy and then they see the hands like whoa. And I said, but if you've been watching Ruiz, you know his hands. People always said that, didn't they?
So people overlooked him, but it just is what it is. I mean, that's boxing. Like, styles make fights, and certain styles can get to certain people. And obviously, when people aren't on form and stuff like that, it's just what it is, really. Yeah.
Where do you see yourself in 2 years' time?
In 2 years' time, I see myself as European champion, on the verge or on the cusp of getting world titles and moving up.
What world champions do you like? Do you have your eye on, and styles and fights do you like?
You know what? I like styles and fights.
In your division?
In my division. Obviously, everyone loved Mayweather. Mayweather's just...
Standard, yeah.
Standard. The adaptations to people in the ring and whatnot, it's just the one. Obviously, Errol Spence, he's coming up.
He's a monster.
He's a monster. His precision in his punching and his accuracy causing people a lot of problems, and people like Crawford as well.
What do you think about Pacquiao versus Thurman? What do you think of that as a fight, and how do you think it plays out?
Well, obviously, Thurman, I'm sure he's coming off a layoff, isn't he?
Yeah, coming off a bit of a layoff.
Yeah, a bit of a layoff. He had a few injuries and that. So it'd be interesting to see how he fares coming back to that world level. But Pacquiao, I don't know how to think about it, because obviously he's kind of coming to that point of his career where he might be coming, like, he might not be his best.
Yeah.
So it just depends which Pacquiao turns up and which Thurman turns up. Yes, but it'll be a wicked match. Thurman's a strong guy, and obviously Pacquiao is work rate, and he's strong as well. So
Wicked.
it'll be good.
Wicked. Well, the moral of the story is, if you're walking around Nottingham, see a young man smiling away, think, I'll take advantage of him. I'm gonna watch out. You might get rolled over by the engine.
do it,
bro?
don't
Don't
do
do it. Never. Not. He's not the one. He's not the one, is it? Wicked. Thank you for giving me your time.
Oh, thank you, man.
The engine. Thanks for speaking to Wingy Boxing, IFL TV. Appreciate it, brother. Thank you.
Cheers for coming down, man.
Thank you, man.
William Hill sponsors IFL TV.
I'm the man to beat Daniel Dubois. We're going to sleep.